crime wave in Gotham. Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
Coming up, more problems for a troubled
earthquake.
skater. Yep,
We're having an earthquake.
Breaking into homes and tickling people.
Fans quickly trashed his pantsless look on social media.
Also, in other news,
The whistles go woo!
He was murdered and then set on fire while celebrating his birthday.
He's on the lean and the model.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
He thought the car was a spaceship and that the driver was an alien.
He lost his life savings, $2,600, and all he has to show for it is this stuffed banana with dreadlocks.
Oh, it's about that time. It's the Bernstein and Goff show here on 670 The Score, 670thescore.com, and watch 670thescore.com. Also on Facebook Live. Not as spicy today. Might be hard to find our social media stars of the day.
We got time.
Yeah, we definitely got time because I'm going to talk about Jamele Hill before we're out of here, and I'm sure that'll drum up some of them. All right, so this is in other news. You know why we do it. You know what we do here. Dan talked about the chopped cheese stuff a couple of days ago, the cultural appropriation, the dope boy sandwich that has been turned into a fine delicacy in the city of New York. Well, it's happening again. And it's happening now with bodegas. This from fastcompany.com.
That's my sister's magazine.
Yeah, 2 ex-Googlers want to make bodegas and mom-and-pop corner stores obsolete. Call the bodega. By the way, they're calling it the bodega. They're calling this, what I'm about to explain to you, the bodega. Like, if it isn't galling enough.
Because the mom-and-pop stores, they don't have any claim over the term bodega. It's just nobody owns it.
And
so
their symbol is a resting cat. And if you've ever been to a New York City bodega, there is always a feline on the pack of bread that you want to buy that's probably
on the cash
3
register,
or 4 weeks old. Exactly. This startup installs unnamed pantry boxes in apartments, offices, dorms, and gyms. It promises convenience, but also represents competition for many mom-and-pop stores. Says while it sometimes feels like all we do is our shopping on the internet, government data shows that actually less than 10% of all retail transactions happen online. In a world where we get our groceries delivered in just 2 hours through Instacart or Amazon Fresh, the humble corner store or bodega, as they are known in New York and Los Angeles, still performs a valuable function. No matter how organized you are bound to run out of milk or diapers in the middle of the night and need to make a quick visit to your neighborhood retailer.
Or fresh produce right out on the sidewalk.
Right, or maybe a pack of Garcia Vegas if you're out of rolling, paraphernalia. Paul McDonald, who spent 13 years as a product manager at Google, wants to make this corner store a thing of the past. Today, he is launching a new concept called Bodega with his co-founder Ashwath Rajan, another Google veteran. Bodega sets up 5-foot-wide pantry boxes filled with non-perishable items you might pick up at a convenience store. An app will allow you to unlock the box, and cameras powered with computer vision will register what you've picked up, automatically charging your credit card. The entire process happens without a person actually manning the store.
So it's like a vending machine, essentially.
But it's whack, though, because they're going to place them in places like you mentioned, the dorm and the apartment. They're going to pretty much... It's like Coconuts and Tower Records being ran out of business.
You need the human transaction.
Yeah, you do.
You need the person to give you that look like, you're back for more vodka?
And this is the thing. Yeah. If we're going to act like this is going to be a real bodega, treat it like a real bodega. I want a homeless person urinating close to this. I want it to be stuck up at once a month at least.
By the same guy.
Yes, I want crack sales to happen at an hourly rate from 10 to 4 in the morning outside of these pantry boxes. Screw you. I'm all for the bodegas. Don't take them away.
The Gainesville Police Department posted a picture of 3 of their officers getting ready. And it says Officers Nordman, Hamill, and Rengering, part of the night crew, getting ready to do some work.
Okay.
Simple enough, right?
Yeah, 3 guys taking a little selfie.
Yeah, however, the reception from the women of Gainesville was enough to induce some blushing.
Oh.
Such as, I feel faint, send help. Or this woman who wrote, do a calendar, add puppies, and I'm pretty sure we can rebuild Texas and Florida. This woman who wrote, I can't believe how many young women are objectifying these poor, fine, young, strong handsome, brave, sexy, delicious, virile, ovulation-inducing, mouth-watering, beefy. I can't remember where I was going with this. So what is referred to as an endless stream of flirtatious comments. My wife, who was on Facebook last night, was seeing this as it was going on, and she was howling at some of these, saying that some are just not safe for the airwaves, not safe for work. I mean, way saucier than just ovulation-inducing from some of this stuff. So the Gainesville Police Department then updated the post of the picture and said, update, 1, we are dying with the comments. You've actually made our chief blush with some of them. 2, Mrs. Nordman and Mrs. Hamill have also enjoyed knowing how millions of women are going crazy over their husbands.
Yes.
3, we can confirm that Officer Rengering, far right with the amazing hair, is single. Number 4, on another note, Officer Rengering is being placed into cougar prey protective care, similar to the witness protection program for his safety. 5, please do not call 911 and request this group respond to your incident. 6, there will be a calendar. We're going to try to do something fairly quickly, and funds raised will go to Hurricane Irma recovery here in Florida. So one of those things that became a thing.
Yeah, it's all good, man. You know, hey, dudes that are well built, well put together, that are police officers and firefighters, clean up.
It happened to us when we had our years ago when we were living in Old Town on Mohawk. We had our carbon monoxide detector go off.
Okay,
so you had to call the police, and out
comes
the lights.
Serious business.
These 3 guys that came in
made you
central casting.
Made you question things.
Right.
Start doing push-ups in your own kitchen.
No, my wife was like, "Oh my God, did you see those guys?" It was like, I mean, 2 of the guys just like, you know, these 2 were just
muscles,
ripped with perfect hair, and then the captain showed up with, like, you know, close cropped salt and pepper hair and wire rimmed glasses.
The dude from Mad Men.
Right, his clipboard, and then they filed out, and everything was fine. And we were looking at each other like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
they're supposed to be, you know, big fat guys that all look like Jim Tomsula.
A lot of those dudes are Mr. Steal Your Girls for real. All right, so there's a sensitivity issue that we have to address in the NBA, and I actually got into this with a lot of people on my group chat. There's like 400 members in this group chat, and people are talking about the preseason player rankings that SI and ESPN.com came out with. And there were a lot of responses by guys who have made hundreds of millions of dollars. Oh, God. DeMar DeRozan, who is a max-level player, hashtag prove him wrong. CJ McCollum, who I think is a very insightful, intelligent dude, went on a little Twitter run as well.
They should rank journalists.
Yeah, we need to start ranking these weak-ass journalists with descriptions of their strengths, weaknesses, and abilities to make up, quote, sources. And then some other guys had some fun with it. Who had the most fun with it? One of my favorite dudes, ladies.
Tony Allen.
No, light skin toughness himself, Devin Booker. We still care about rankings nowadays? I thought that was high school. And Daryl Morey goes on to say the ESPN, NBA, and SI Now top 100 rankings have been seemingly random number generators so far. So Daryl Morey put his little analytical spin on it. That was cool. And Ryan Anderson, you know, had some fun with it. But, man, you want to set an NBA player off. Melo, if you don't know, Hoodied Melo has been practicing all summer long and putting it on the internet, making people think of the old school Melo. And Melo was ranked 64th. Lonzo Ball was ranked 63rd.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes. Somebody's trolling Melo.
Yes, and Melo is not having any of it. Melo is angrier. I think Melo wants to take 2 balls on the court now so he can shoot both of them at the same time.
Uh-oh, welcome to Big Baller Zone.
Yeah, so the NBA preseason player rankings have riled up some of these young, aggressive athletes. I'm looking forward to how much of this actually sticks, which is probably none of it, but it was kind of silly.
Every once in a while, there's a long-form piece of writing that I will always direct you to. It's absolutely worth your time. I retweeted it earlier today, and make the time for this, especially considering what's going on in today's news. Brian Curtis of The Ringer wrote a piece about Jamele Hill and her show, The Six, and her role at that network, and her role as something larger than that network. I had no idea what her story was. I did not know.
I knew her story before the Ringer thing, but
I did not know that she was raised in Houston and Detroit by a single mother who was raped at gunpoint and became a drug addict. Mm-hmm. And the whole reason that Jamele Hill became a writer was that The mom used to clean homes for extra money to feed her drug habit, and she would sit in these houses while her mom cleaned and read. And it was often the Detroit Free Press or whatever was available to her. And the fact, her grandmother gave her a television one time as a gift. The mom immediately pawned it to buy drugs. Yep. The mom is clean now, and just is completing her master's degree. So there is a happy ending to that. But it's a remarkable story, and it takes you inside the way that she and Michael Smith go about their business and putting their show together. And
before that, with the His and Her podcast as well. I mean, they've been a come up for a while. They've been on the fact
that they started as a dating couple.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that they talk about it. They were set up by friends. They went on a couple dates, and it was you learn about what she has to deal with and what she's expected to deal with on a daily basis, let alone what's happening today. But it's incredibly well written, and the access is phenomenal. I never thought that network would allow that kind of access or something like this for a property that isn't, it isn't really.
Ringer, I don't know if they have any affiliation.
I don't know if there is
but
on any level.
They want one of their up and coming stars to shine. I'll say this:
really good.
I've had 2 interactions with Jamele. Both very brief. One was at a National Association of Black Journalists party. I'm not a member of NABJ, but I was checking it out. It was a mixer or whatever. She was super cool in Atlanta. And another time at a game. And she is someone that I admire, even though we're similar age. Not only her story, but her perseverance. We've seen what women in this business have to go through, and then double down with some of the things that people say to African Americans on social media. She gets a lot, and she deals with it in stride. She's a terrific writer. I've always appreciated her, not only her viewpoint on sports, her perspective on sports, but her perspective on life as well, because she knows how to take a joke and make a joke. And what's going on right now, I think, is absolutely ridiculous. Because I, for one, don't see any lie that she told. And for the people, it's funny. You can, being called a white supremacist is worse than being one these days.
People are angrier about somebody being called one than somebody actually being
acting
one.
it out. Right. Exactly.
I think Vincent Goodwill tweeted something like that I retweeted.
Well, at least you didn't call him the founder of ISIS or a Kenyan or question his grades or question his military involvement. But those are the other things. But I'm a big fan of Jamele Hill, always have been before this, and will be after this as well.